Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillah, walhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salam ala rasulillah. Brothers and sisters, when life gets so busy, a common coping mechanism with our busy lifestyles can be that we compartmentalize different aspects of our lives. Then when we are at home, that's our time to chill. That's your time to relax. When you're at work, that's your space for productivity. And when you come to the masjid, this is your time for ibadah. But one pitfall of this, one trap that we have to realize is that you can't compartmentalize your Islam. That just as much as when you come to the masjid ready to pray, you're doing so as a Muslim, when you're at home with your family, and when you're at work interacting with your colleagues, you're doing so as a Muslim. That this is part of your Muslim identity. That you should embrace your Islam in all your interactions, in all your day-to-day activities. And to truly implement that, to comprehend what this Muslim identity is, there's two aspects to take into account. An opportunity and a responsibility. And these are the two aspects I'd like to highlight in this short reminder tonight, inshallah. And so to begin with, an opportunity. Because of the bubbles that we surround ourselves with, because of this compartmentalization, we often forget how little the average non-Muslim truly knows about Islam. How much do they really know about your religion, this crucial aspect of your life? But one thing that they do know, that every person has at least heard of, is Ramadan. That for 1 month out of the year, we come together for Ramadan and we abstain from eating and drinking during the day. Not even water, you hear that? This is something that's universal. No matter how little someone knows about Islam. And so this is your opportunity. This is your opportunity as a Muslim to convey the message of Islam. The Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam teaches us, he tells us, بَلِّغُوا عَنِّي وَلَوْ آيَةً. Convey from me even if it's just one verse. That it doesn't matter how much you know or you don't know, you have the opportunity in your relationship that you have, whether it be with your neighbors, whether it be with your colleagues at work, that you spread the message of Islam. That you start that conversation at least when they ask you, what is Ramadan? Why do you fast? Why do you pray? And even if you don't have that confidence to instigate that conversation, at least you embrace your identity and you don't shy away from it. That you don't say to your colleague, I'm about to take a break. That you say, it's time for prayer, and so I'm about to go pray. They don't say, I'm going to skip out on lunch tonight. You say, today I'm fasting because it's Ramadan. That you embrace your Muslim identity. Whether you're at work, whether you're at home, or you're at the masjid. That you allow your colleagues, or your neighbors, or whoever is in your community to attribute your good actions to that religion. Which brings me to the second aspect, which is the responsibility. And that is that whether we like it or not, whether we even acknowledge it or not, you are an ambassador of Islam. An ambassador of your religion. Whether it be because of the beard on your face, or the hijab on your head, or perhaps because of the clothes you wear or the language that you speak, you will be identified as a Muslim. Such that when you are driving on the road and you cut someone off, you're not just that reckless driver, you're the Muslim who is recklessly driving. That when you're at a restaurant and you're arguing with the waiter, you're not just that unruly or difficult customer, you're the Muslim who's being difficult as a customer. That you have a responsibility when it comes to your interactions on a day-to-day basis. That your words have a consequence larger than just to yourself. That you don't just represent you, but you represent something much greater. And so it's something to remind yourself constantly. Before you start that argument, before you make that decision or those words exit your mouth, you realize what you represent. You realize the consequences of your actions, because the reality is not great. The reality is That when someone's looking to buy a car, who do they avoid or be careful from buying from? The reality is that when Ramadan comes, our neighbors are dreading it. When their driveways are blocked and the roads are full and they're disturbed in the middle of the night when we're leaving the masjid. That shouldn't be the case. It should be that the person goes out of their way to make deals with a Muslim because he's honest, because he's trustworthy. That the house value of a neighborhood should go up when a Muslim moves in because they check up on their neighbors, because they take care of them and their needs. That our neighbors around here in Cheadle should look forward to Ramadan, should long for Ramadan just as much as we do, because that's the month that we as a community come here together to be considerate, to see how we can give back to our community, to take care of them, to share meals with them, to represent Islam in a way it is befitting for us to represent Islam. So on your day-to-day interactions, whether it be when you're walking down the street or you're driving your car, whether it be you're at work with your colleagues or you're speaking to your neighbor, remind yourself that you are a Muslim in that interaction, whether you like it or not. That your words and actions have consequences. Remind yourself of the responsibility that you have to fulfill and the opportunity you have to seek reward. Don't allow this Ramadan just to benefit you. Don't allow that benefit of this month to be localized just to yourself. Allow it to be spread to those in your community. Start with those closest to you, from your neighbors to your wider community. Make sure your colleagues have that connection with you. Spark that curiosity in their mind so they can come and ask you questions about your religion. Because you're not just that person that they work with, you're the Muslim that they work with. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us to represent Islam in a way in which it is befitting. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward us for our actions and our speech that we do for His sake. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.